What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video. I appreciate you guys clicking in, and I'm super excited today to share how you guys can better improve your V-taper by better activating your back. So one of the things that I have struggled with in the past is actually activating my biceps more than my back when I'm trying to work on my V-taper. And the V-taper is very important for me because I am competing in my pro men's physique show here this year. I think I'm gonna be doing 2 shows at least. So I wanna make sure I'm optimizing my back training. So right now, I'm gonna give you guys 3 special tips you guys can take with you, implement it to your training to better activate your back and avoid activating your biceps. All right, guys, the first tip is going to be pre-activation. So this technique here will help you activate your lats, warm up your lats. You can feel the blood flow into them so you can ensure you're activating them once you get into your working sets. So I'm going to repeat, this isn't to fatigue your back, it's there just to pre-activate. So pre-activating will help prime your back to make sure you're getting full activation when you do your working sets. So my personal favorite is the lat pull-in because I feel like you can isolate your back a lot, or you can perform lat pullovers on the cable. I think these 2 are the best, but if there is a specific back exercise that you personally feel a lot, that you really like, then you can use lightweight, do a couple sets of 10 to 30, feel it out, and better activate your back before you actually start. So I'll take you guys through lat pull-ins first. So to start off this one, I'm gonna put the cable up at the top, and I'm gonna step out so my arm is approximately 45 degrees. As I pull in, I'm gonna focus on using my elbow to pull my arm down, pulling my arm down and in, and squeeze my back. If you guys wanna get a little bit more advanced, what you can do at the bottom is twist in, and you're gonna activate your back a little bit more. So pull in and twist at the bottom. In and twist. So the next one I like to do for pre-activation is the lat pullovers. To start this one off, all you have to do is put the cable at the top. You can either get on your knees or take a step back, and make sure you guys keep a straight elbow or a slight bend. It's just important that you keep that consistent and make sure you're only moving at the shoulder joint. And what you can do is get a big stretch at the top, pull all the way through, squeeze your back, come all the way back up. And it's not meant to fatigue you. When you're performing this exercise here, you wanna go slow, you wanna feel your back. You're gonna try and activate it. That's the most important thing. You don't wanna just go through the motion, swing the reps. You don't wanna get sloppy. You wanna make sure you're activating your back. So don't worry about weight. It's just there to help you get ready for your working sets. All right, so tip number 2 of better activating your back and avoid activating your biceps is to swoop at the elbow. And what I mean by this is to emphasize the movement of the elbow versus bending at the elbow. So when you're on the lat pull down, you're gonna wanna open up your elbow and pull it down versus just pulling straight down. Because if you pull straight down, you're just gonna bend at the elbow and use a lot of your biceps. So if you find yourself doing that a lot on the lat pull down, try almost spreading apart and pulling your elbows outside, swooping them out, and I feel like you'll get a lot more activation in your back. Now the same thing applies for rowing movement. If I just pull straight back, you guys can see this movement here. There's little movement at the shoulder. You guys can see I'm just pulling here, and it's gonna be all bicep. But if I focus on swooping the elbow on a downward motion like this, and I'm pulling, you're gonna get a lot more lat activation that way. So one little cue for rows is actually drag the elbow down and swoop it down towards the ground. Try and keep it as low to the ground as possible. So you guys can see it's a lot of a lot of biceps, if I just pull it like this, you guys can see it's almost like a curl. But then when I come forward and I'm swooping at the elbow, keeping it nice and low to the ground, I'm gonna get a lot more lat. The last tip to make sure you guys are activating your back is actually adjusting your tempo. So tempo training, where we're gonna slow down the contraction and the pull to make sure you're activating your back through the entire range of motion. Then what you're gonna do is pause at the max contraction, squeeze your back, and slow down the eccentric to make sure you can feel your back releasing and get a nice stretch in your back. By doing this, you're gonna feel it a lot more. You're gonna improve your mind-muscle connection and help avoid any activation at the elbow. One of the other reasons why I like to mention this one is that when you're training your back, you can't necessarily see it in the mirror. It's a little bit harder. So just because you can't see it, you are gonna need a better mind-muscle connection, and really emphasize this when you are using your pulling movements. So it can be a little bit harder to do this, maybe when you're doing a barbell row or a dumbbell row, because there's a lot more stability involved. So you might have to tone back the weight, slow everything down, and really focus on the squeeze. So for exercises like that, you can tone back the weight for those free weight exercises. But I do actually recommend you performing a movement that you can really feel and better activate, so you guys can better hit your back and avoid using your biceps.